and let's get started. Once again, thank you very much to everyone who attended for today's session, which is entitled Beyond the Basics Discovering the Advanced Feature of Zoho Creator. I am Chelsea, the regional marketer of Zoho for Philippines, and together with me is the creator team, especially our technical expert for today, Pungkotay. Who will be showing us the demo of the today's session. So let's get started. So before like I mentioned earlier, this is the second part of our Creator webinar series. So, a very quick overview. What is Creator? Zoho Creator is a unified low-code application platform, and we've gone through a lot of growth since the first version, you can see from my slide, and up to now, which we have recently launched the Creator 6, which is more improved and still continuing with the vision and journey to empower everyone to build powerful applications quickly and easily. For over 15 years, we have garnered or we have already more than 14,000 customers, building 7 million plus apps, and having 6 million plus users. We are currently focusing on the three main aspects of building solution: development, deployment, and management. We have the recording of the previous webinar, so feel free to scan this QR code to lead you to that recording. So for the agenda for today are the following. We will explore the customer portals, blueprints, flows, artificial intelligence, and localization. So basically, all of this will be shown. We will be trying our best to explain this, and later on, Pungkatay, our creator technical expert, will show you how to actually do it on your creator app. So first, what are customer portals? So basically, it's an online client portal that are secure application gateways designed to provide customers, vendors, and partners with a single point of access to a company's products, services, and information. So, to make things short or to make it more concise, it's basically like the external view of these people on how your application looks like. Let's say it's sort of your front end. What is the benefit of having these portals? It can actually level up your business applications. Sometimes it can be used using by the student gateways. You know, universities can actually use these portals to keep their students updated with daily schedules, examinations, and even assignment details. This can also push notifications that will be helpful in keeping up to date with all the things going on with the university. And not only that, it can also be used by vendors and suppliers and keep track of all the inquiries, basic inquiries, and even automate their invoices. Customer portals is not limited to universities and this suppliers and vendors. They are also helpful to this other examples such as HR portals, product returns, sales, help desk, and IT self-service, and even supply chain management. So it's basically based on how you will customize your application and its fields. Now, let's move on to the blueprints, which can help you achieve end-to-end process excellence by creating a visual illustration of your business processes business processes. So every organization, we follow a distinct business process that is fit for your organization. And sometimes it's hard to just memorize them, right? But with Creator's blueprint, it helps you create a more visual illustration of this process. So it's easy to keep track of what's there and customize every detail of every process you design. The blueprint has actually stages and transitions that can all customizable. So, what is the benefit of blueprints? It, like what I've mentioned, it can visually map processes, establish accountability because you can see from one stage to another who are the people that can be held accountable, gather info on the go, accelerate approvals with the features of triggers and even transitions, fast track communication, and automate post stage actions. So later on, you will more understand this by the demo that Pungkotai will present. So stay tuned. Next is flows. Flows can help you integrate flawlessly without a single line of code. So even if you are currently using an external application, or whether these applications are already part of the Zoho ecosystem, you can easily integrate them with flows in your creator application. And you don't have to rack your head for any single code, because flows made it easier for us to integrate everything in your creator app. It can easily be set up with 3 steps. First, you have to set a trigger where you will set up the event where the workflow has to be executed. These triggers can actually help you collect data in any format. Second step is you will define the logic, wherein you will set schedules for automation and design branches for conditional logic and delays that is tailor made to your workflows. And next, the last step for this is to learn from valuable insights. From all the things that you've set up and from the data that's been collected using the flows, it can analyze your business with performance indicators in real time. And not only that, you can easily connect to 600 plus tools and sync data and actions all in your creator app. So you don't have to worry if, oh no, what if I'm using these applications? How will I import all of this? Do I have to, you know, um, set up them from the start or from scratch? Well, Flows is making it easier for us to integrate and connect, whether you are using an external application or you are currently using the Zoho apps that are included in our ecosystem. Next, AI. AI is one of the hottest topics these days, and it's a very helpful tool in some of our tasks. But whenever we think of AI, we usually think of writing codes in order to incorporate them in our application. But with Zoho Creator, we are encouraging, just like one of our visions, to empower you guys to build a powerful application. And to keep things straight, there's no need to write formulas or code algorithm. You can easily feed the data to your app, and the AI will figure out the patterns. So we have different AI feeds that you can add on your application and help you automate your tasks. So let's try to see what are these AI feeds. First is the prediction. So what is prediction? Prediction is it helps you analyze the data in your form and then uses the machine learning to create a model that's capable of predicting a field value for all your future records. So it can help you tag, or it can help you categorize the information that you've collected on your form. And as you can see here in the example, it can categorize your leads whether they are hot or cold. Next is the sentiment analysis. This analysis is very fitting whenever you have to collect feedbacks from your customers, because it can easily score people's texts and then tag them whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. Later on, Pungkatay will show you how this works. Next is the optical character recognition. So basically, from its term, optical character recognition, it can easily scan your documents and image files and then instantly digitize the data. It can actually extract the text from the images and then translate it and gather it to your application. Next is the keyword extraction. wherein it can help you convert text into tags and keywords. So in keyword extraction, this can help you pick up keywords from huge chunks of text. So let's say a, um, a customer or an end user is typing a whole paragraph, and you have to, extract keywords or the main things that they pointed out. Keyword extraction can help you do that. Next is the object detection, which uses our pre-trained models to identify and locate everyday objects and images. So let's say you upload a photo of your supplies, and then it can easily identify what is the photo or what is the object shown on the photo you uploaded. Next is the localization. I know some of us, most of us rather, are trying to go globally and reach out to more of our customers. With localization, you can make your application be multilingual and accessible to a larger audience. Not only that, you can actually have options with this, and these options are English, which is the default language, the user's browser language, user's Zoho account language, and even let the user choose what language they prefer. Now, let's try to see how is Zoho Creator in action. I will now pass the stage to Pungkatay so that she can show you better.
So I'm hoping my screen is also visible. So moving into the demo part of this webinar. So let us have an understanding about how you'll be able to incorporate all these advanced features into Creator. So for that, I have brought in a use case of order management application where we'll be able to incorporate all the advanced features such as the AI fields, the blueprints, the customer portal, localization, and the integration flow as well into our application here. So let me give you a short brief about what this application is about. It is about a simple order management. I guess few of you might have already been aware about what an order management is. So let me just show you the major master forms which I've created for this application. So starting with the order form, which allows you to collect the order details, and the product form to collect the product details, and vendor form for the vendors to add in their details as along with the product form. And then we have the feedback form. So whenever an customer places an order, we usually collect feedback from the customers based on the order which they have placed here. So this form would be helpful for that. And then we have the customer support form. So if a customer has a issue regarding their order or the service which is being provided, making use of this customer support form, they'll be able to add in their query or request over there. So moving on directly to the demo part. So let me take you to the creator account. So this is my creator login page, and this is how it would look like once you have logged in. So as you can see on the left side, we have few of the options such as develop, deploy, and manage to manage our application and the solutions which we built. And in the dashboard, you can see we have different applications which I've built. Along with that, you can also see the flow and the analytics solution which is already been created here. So let me take you to the application which I've built here. So this is the order management application. So as I mentioned to you, the forms, order forms, product forms, employee, vendor, feedback form, customer form. So let me show you how and where I've used all these advanced features. So in order form, we'll be collecting the customer details when they are placing the order. And here, as you can see, I've added a simple sub form where I'll be able to add the products of the required customers. And below that, as you can see, we have an image field, and then we have a coupon field here. So this coupon field is nothing but the OCR field. So optical character recognition field. So here, whenever I try to add an image to this particular field, so let me show you how it is done. So here I have few of coupons already here. So if I click onto one of the coupon existing with me, so it automatically captures the text present in that particular coupon. So for example, this particular coupon has an text of 20%. So whenever a customer is placing an order, he or she might require a discount or any concession for the particular order. So making use of this OCR field by adding a simple image field and then the OCR field, you'll be able to capture the image present in that particular you'll be able to capture the text present in the particular image here. So this is how you can make use of an OCR field. So moving on to the next form. So which is the product form. As I mentioned to you, whenever a vendor wants to place his or her customer in the organization, he can make use of the product form here. So now, as you can see, we have another image and an object detection field over here. So making use of this object detection, object detection AI field, I'll be able to detect what image is being added into that particular image field here. So let me also show you how it is done. So going back to the downloads. And as you can see, we have few of the images present here. So if I click onto one of the image and upload it, and below my inside my object detection field, I'll be able to view what image is being added over here in my image field. So this would allow me to identify what image is being added here, and that data can be stored in your forms here. So when we talk about the order management, you would always require for a particular use case, the organization might be working with few of the products, and they can easily upload those particular image and have an understanding about the particular image which has been uploaded. Or else you can also use this in other use cases where if a customer wants to raise an issue about a particular product, he or she can take an image of the particular object, and then it can be detected here as the text here. So when we talk about this object detection, currently in Creator, we are limited to only few of the images. So that can be made use of as of now. And moving on to the next field. So we have a feedback form here. So when we collect feedback forms from the customer, what we require from them is the service satisfiable by the customer or not. So we'll have to have an understanding about the service or the product which is being delivered to them. So for that, we'll be making use of the sentiment analysis field here. So when we talk about sentiment analysis, whenever you make use of the particular sentiment analysis field, you have to make sure in your forms you have a single line or a multi-line field here. So now I have added a single line, multi-line field, and I've renamed the field to feedback about the service. So whenever the customer types in the feedback, the sentiment analysis, if it is a positive or a negative feedback. So let me show you how it is done. So let us type service was good and looking forward for more purchase. So once the customer types in their feedback, and it shows me neutral, and if I just give a simple text, the service was good. So let me just also reset it and type it again. And as you can see, it shows me positive comment. So based on the feedback, it captures the negative or the positive sentiment. So let us also try, let me reset and try a negative statement. And just as you can see, based on the feedback, the sentiment is being captured over here. So this is how you can make use of the sentiment analysis here. And moving on to the next field, next form, which is the customer support form. Here I've used the keyword extraction field here. So as you know, whenever a customer is raising a support, the support team would be taking care of it. And when we talk about the support team, we have different groups or teams present inside the support team, where each of the individual team has the responsibility of taking care of different objects or different processes and different products as well. So if you want to extract the keyword, if it has to be reached to only a particular team, making use of this keyword extraction, you can extract the particular keyword from the description or the support which has been raised by the customer. There's no necessary for you to read through all the lines and have an understanding about what is the requirement and pass it on to the next support team. So let me show you how to make use of this keyword here for this use case. So let me type laptop issues charger problem. So this is a simple statement, and as you can see, I've got the main keywords from here. So let me just type in another one. So let me reset it and type another one. And once I clicked onto it, it shows me the main keyword from the particular sentence. So I hope you got an understanding about the all the four fields. And moving on to next, which is an interesting field, which is the prediction field. So when we talk about a prediction field in Creator, you can make use of a custom model here. So based on your existing data, you can and have an analysis of a prediction. So for example, you're working in a stock management and you want to identify when the stock would go down or when the stock would go up. Or if you want to analyze these demand and sales of the product, you can make use of this prediction as well. Not only that, for weather forecast as well. So now when we want to create a prediction field, we have to make sure we have a sufficient amount of pre-existing data that would allow us to train the model for the prediction here. So let me show you how this prediction model is being created. So going back to the dashboard, so under develop, we have solutions and microservices. So once you click onto microservices, you have AI models, AR library and connections and data sources. So when I click onto the create new, it takes me to the creation of AI models or connections or any other requirements. So now I'm creating an AI model for the prediction. So as you can see, prediction is a custom model and the ready to use models are keyword extraction, sentiment analysis, OCR, and the object detection, which we already saw in our demo here. So when I click onto the prediction, it asks me to give a name for my model. So I'll give a name for my model and I'll create a model. And I simply have to choose the configurations. If I want to train a data based on my application from an existing data or from an existing file which I have within a CSV file. So I'll just simply choose application and let me choose the same application which you're working on, Zilker Home Appliances, and the form. So this is the demand rate. And once I click on to next, it asks me choose the base field through which you want to run a prediction. So let me just choose the number of products sold. And then we have to choose the dependent field, which influences the prediction outcomes over here. So based on the date, the number of products, and the price of the product, you'll be able to determine the predictions here. So once you have configured these fields, let me click on to next. And it asks me to select the records based on all records or specific records. So let me just click on to all records and move. And this is the model summary. And here it asks me to train the model. So so let me click on to train the model. So when I train the model, it will take quite some time for the model to be trained. And when we train the model, we have to make sure that we have sufficient data with us. And since it is getting loaded, let me just show you an existing model which I've already created. So this is the same model which I've created previously. And let me show you how to test this model. So once your training model is ready, you have to test this model, and clicking onto a date, the price, let me give the price, and the total amount, total number of products sold, and total in stock. So predict outcome. As you can see, the demand is very low and the confidence of the score is 100%. So the outcome is 100% confident that the demand is very low. So this is how you can make use of a prediction field here. And once your training model is done, once you have tested your model, you can make use of this model here. So use this model and you have to select the application and the form here and use model. So once you have done that, it will take you directly to the form and where you have to choose the particular field here. And then you have to do the field mapping along with it. And let me just click on the next and date field, mapping the data and the product sold and the product stock. Once I've done that, my prediction field has been already added here. So I did a previous demo and let me delete this, and we have one new prediction model here. So once I give it done and access this application, and let us try out the prediction here. So product is laptop and the 18th May, and the price of the product and number of products so far sold is 7 and product in stock is 2. So let us check. So here, as you can see, the prediction demand is very low here based on the product sold and the price here. So this is how you can make use of all the prediction models. And I guess you have an quite understanding about how you can make use of these AI fields. And as you can see, I have not written a single coding here. Just with a simple configuration, I was able to use these AI fields. And now moving on to the next topic, which are blueprints. So we have built the forms here, and now you want to have an understanding about the processes present in your application. So making use of this blueprint, you can have an understanding about the processes present in your application. So for this application, I've already built a blueprint, and let me take you to that. So going on to the edit mode of this application, and next to the design tab, you have the workflows. So inside workflows, we have the blueprints here. And let me click onto the blueprint. And as you can see, I've created a process of this organization for a delivery process. So whenever an order is being placed, we have a lot of processes next to the delivery process. So it goes through the production part, then the packing, then the delivery person takes out the order, and then it reaches to the customer. So I've tried to accommodate those things inside this blueprint, as you can see, starting with the open to packing, then packing to the packing completed and delivered. And also we have another stage where we have cancelled. So when we talk about blueprints, we have two major concepts that has to be understood here. So which are stages and transitions. So stages are nothing but the milestones of your process, and the transitions are nothing but the intermediate phase between these stages here. So we have different stages, starting with the open, and packing is one stage, and between that we have on hold. So whenever an order is being placed, it shows me open, and when it is and then when it is moving on to packing, it shows me on hold. And while packing, I can put it on hold, and or I can make it completed to go to the next stage, such as packing completed. Or if I want it to be cancelled, I can do that as well during the packing stage itself. And then once the packing is done, it can be out for delivery, and once it is done, you'll be showing delivered. So let me show you how you'll be able to add these stages and transition here. And not only that, how you can make use of other options during your transition process here. So on the top, you can see stages, and let me add a example stage here. And processing is, let me just add one. And once I've added it, it shows me here, and I can just simply drag and drop it. And now I can add another transition. And once I've added it, I already have a name similar to that. And let me just simply add cancel, and I can drag and drop. So we have now added the stages here. So now I have to add the transition between these two stages. So I can just simply drag and drop a line, and between this I'll be able to add my transition here. So let me add a transition hold. And once I click add, it directly adds here. And during the transition, I can do few actions here, before transition and after transition. So during before transition, I can add the transition owners here, the person who is responsible for doing the transition from one stage to the another. So here I can choose everyone or selected users. So when I click on to selected users, it can either be users or based on your permission sets which you have given, or from based on the fields which you have added. And next we have the criterias and the transition properties as well. So when I click onto the after transition part, you'll be able to do few actions as well. So when we talk about actions, I'll be able to add notifications. I'll be able to do data access such as upload records or add records, or I'll be able to do integration such as pushing data from one form to another, or I'll be able to add any logics here. So this is how you can make use of the transitions here and the stages. So we have built your blueprints here. So how will I be able to access these blueprints? So inside your form, so we have created this blueprint for the order form here. And let me show it to you. So let us just give done. And let me go back to the application and to the order form. So as you can see, we have few of the data added here, and we have few of this present over here. So these are the fields, as you can see, we have added in our forms, but in our reports, you can see we have another stage called blueprint stage. So this is, I have configured this using the form properties where I've added the fields here. And now whenever I place an order, I'll be able to view my blueprint stages here. So we have added a existing data here, Nila. And as you can see, the blueprint stage is open. And when I click on to on hold, it changes to packing. And the packing is the stage, and we have two other transition here. Should I mark it as completed, or should I mark it as packing on hold? So if I give completed, it shows me packing completed. And once the packing is completed, I can just click on to out for delivery. So as you can see, it shows me out for delivery. So whenever I place an order, it shows me open. And when we complete the blueprint process, it shows me delivered. So as I mentioned to you, you can given the permission set for the transition owners here, and you'll be able to access the address the configure the actions as well. So we are now completed with the blueprint part of the application. Now we have built the forms, blueprints, and we got an understanding about how you can make use of this order management application. But now, how will you be able to share this application with your customer or any other users here? So now, for that, they don't require to. There is not necessity for them to require a creator account here. So by making use of the customer portal, they'll be able to have an access to the forms here. So let me show you how it is done. So going back to the creator dashboard and solutions, we have microservices. Under that, we have deploy options. So under deploy, we have environments and mobile and portal. So making use of this portal, you'll be able to create customer portal for your application here. So let me show you how it is done. Once I click on to create new, and it asks me to agree the terms and conditions, and let me create. So now let us start configuring this option here. And starting with the create portal, it asks me to choose the application. So let us choose the application. And next we have the portal URL. So you can keep a default domain or a custom domain. So default domain is automatically created. And when you want to give a custom domain, you can just customize your own domain. For example, if you're working in your company, you want your own company or branding name here, you can give out this custom domain here. So but for now, let me just choose default domain. And we have three different portal types here. So what are these portal types? So when you give the portal type access for different types, starting with the public portal, so any user with this link will be able to access the forms or the reports based on the permission set. And when we talk about the private type, so whenever a user is being invited by the admin only, they'll be able to access this private portal. And restricted portal, users have to sign up and get approved by the domain itself for accessing the particular portal here. And if you want to notify the admin or user on sign up, that can be done. And you have to set default permission set for this application. So in our application, as you can see, we have the order form, product form, employee, vendors, feedback, and customer forms. So you don't want the customer to have an access to all the forms, or you don't want the vendor to have access to all the other customer related forms here. So for that, let us you'll be able to give different permission sets here. So I've already given two permission sets for customer and vendor. So let me also show you how this is done. So going back to the application and edit this application. Under settings, you have user permissions and portal permissions. So under portal permissions, I'll be able to add permission sets here. So let me show you how it is done. So I'll have to give a name for my permission set and description and the set permissions. As you can see, all the forms are being added as a module here, and you have to give access, view, edit, delete, and other options for the particular permission set here. And if I want to add for the manager of this application, I can also give that. And when we talk about the manager, he has to have an access view to the all support form. So he'll have an understanding about the details of the support team and the employees present in the organization and the forms related to feedback and the vendor form and the access to the vendor form. So let me just give save. And this is a simple way how you'll be able to add your permission sets here. So as you can see, I've added three different permission sets. So let us have a look at how you'll be able to add them in your portal. So once I reload it, and again click on to the same configurations, select the application, default permission. As you can see, the default permission has been added. Manager has been added over here. So this is how you can make use of the permission set here. So now let me just choose vendor. And if you want to allow the users to change the email address, you can also enable it. And if you want to add any icons to your portal, you can add that as well. So let me just create new, and it is created here. And now you want to add your users, portal users here. So let me just show you add portal users, and let me add a portal user here. So once you have added the portal user, they'll be able to receive an email to log into this particular portal and have an access to the forms which you have built here. So let me add it. And the portal users have been successfully added. Let me go back to the same email address which I've opened over here. As you can see, invite to join the application portal here. So this is how they'll be able to receive an email. So starting with, they have to create a new password here. And let me give out a password. Confirming the password and creating it. So this is how the user will be able to log into the portal and have a look at the forms which you have given permission to. So this is a vendor portal user. So this vendor would be able to have a look at the product form of the application and the vendor form, where he'll be able to fill out his vendor details and he'll be able to add the product details here. So this is how you can give different permission sets for customer portal and give them the portal access, and they'll be able to access this and add the data here. So I hope you got an understanding about the customer portal here. And moving on to the next interesting part. So, where we talk about the localization of the application. So, whenever we talk about the localization, it sounds very complicated. So, how to bring in the nativity of the language of your own. So, here in Creator, we have only simple configurations. So, as you can see, inside setting, I have the option to personalize my application. So once I click on to localization, I'll be given these options. One is the default language or the user browser language. So based on the browser, the user's browser language, your application would also be changed here. And then uses Zoho account language. So during your sign up, you will have been configured few of the options. If in case it is not English, other than English, you'll be able to access that through here and let the user choose. So if you let the user choose, it shows me default language, or I can choose different language. As you can see, we only have two. If I want to add more languages, using the add language here, I'll be able to choose these different languages from here. And once I click onto that, it asks me to choose the language and configure it. And you can see another one has been added here. So if I want to add this here, I can just click onto this. And now we have to access this option which we have configured. Going back to the live mode. So as you can see, this has been changed. The language has been converted. The localization has been done. And based on your requirement, you can change it as well. So let us go back and reload it as well. And right to left or left to right based on your language preferences. So let's just go back to English as well. So this is how you can make use of the localization. And we have converted it to the English back. So now we have got an idea about how you'll be able to work few advanced features inside your application. Now, if you want to extend your capabilities of your creator, so now here comes the part where you'll be integrating your creator with other third-party cloud services or Zoho suite of applications here. So today what we'll be doing is we'll be integrating your creator with the Zoho desk. So I guess few of you might be familiar or might not be familiar. So let me take you a walkthrough about what is this Zoho Desk. So this would allow you to directly deal with your customer in case if you're working in a support team. This would be very interesting here for you. So you'll be able to track down the customer, and whenever they raise an issue, you'll be able to receive tickets based on that. You can directly click on to those tickets and reply to them directly based on those issues which they have raised here. And you can also have a track on what is the status of those tickets. Is it an open or on holds or escalated, or the ticket has been closed here. So this is a simple understanding about Zoho Desk. Now what we'll be doing is that we'll be creating a flow between the customer support form to the Zoho desk. So whenever a customer places their form here in our customer support form, we'll have to receive a ticket here based on the issue, and we'll also have to add a customer name over here. So for that, I have already created a flow. So let me take you to the walkthrough of that as well. So this is the integration flow. So as you can see, we'll be able to see the summary, builder, and the history of the so far versions, so far process which has been done. So starting with the creator. So whenever you are creating a record in your creator account, you want the flow to be started. So when we talk about the integration flow, you can trigger it based on your application, or you can schedule it, or through an webhook URL, you'll be able to customize it. So now I've used an application based trigger, and onto the left, I'll be able to choose the application which I want to work with. So it can, so for now, I'm choosing creator. So as you can see, once I click onto the creator and search it, it shows me the three different options through which I'll be able to make use of. So I've just simply dragged and dropped it here and configure the fields which is required for me for building my flow. So let me just delete it and show you how it is done. So starting with the connection, you have to create a connection, or you can choose from an existing connection. It is nothing but you can just simply authenticate and do it. And next we have the to choose the variable name, the application name, and the forms which you want to do the perform the flow with. And once you click on to done, it is being created. And now what action we have to perform next? Now we want to create a contact and create a ticket in our desk. So let me just show you how it is done. So it is same. I have to choose the connection, or I can just simply click on to new and type in my new connection here and just authorize it. And the other configurations like the portal, the login, the last name, the email. So as you can see, it is very simple. So I can just choose the data from which we want to fetch the data from. So let me just show you how the email is done. So I want the email here. So I'll just click onto the email. As you can see, once I click on it, it automatically places the particular details over there. So with this simple configuration, I'll be able to do the requirements. So let me just apply change and apply it. And I can also test and debug my flow here. And once it is done, you have to make sure your flow is on, and that is done. So let us go back and type our request over here. So let me type customer name here, and let us give a date 24th May, and I want to raise a complaint regarding the dishwasher. Dishwasher is not working, leaking issues with pipe. Okay, this is a simple description, and now I'm submitting it. So now what should happen is that my query has to be raised in my desk, and a customer detail should be created as well. So let me just click on to this again. And it takes quite some time. So let us also go back and check our flow as well. So this is our flow. Using the history option, you can make and have an understanding if your flow is completed successfully. As you can see, it is completed. And let us go back and check. So this is the ticket which has been raised, the dishwasher and pipe issue, and the customer detail has also been added over here. So this is how you can make use of this integration flow, and using the summary, you can have an understanding about what and all has been happened so far and the integrations that has been done. So based on date, you can see, and the chart as well. So I hope you got an understanding about these topics on the advanced concept.
So thank you for that demo. And now we have reached the end of our session.